Sorry guys, had a little bit of error there with our marker, wasn't working, but welcome to ABC Gluten Free. I'm your host Dana, and today we're making Sam's Cacciatore. So let's get started because this recipe is delicious. It is very, very good for you because we're going to be making a homemade pasta. Now we know that pasta from the grocery store, gluten-free pasta, can be sometimes delicious. Sometimes it can be not so delicious, and they don't let it dry for, they don't really age it well enough. So it's a little bit harder to digest. So today we're making for you a delicious homemade gnocchi. Hopefully going to have the girls come in later and help me, and I've got my food stylist here, Kirsten Plecken. She's going to be giving you some beautiful pictures later, hopefully. But most of all, and most importantly, we have Sam's famous salsa today. We're bringing to you, this is how we're going to be making our chicken cacciatore. So it's going to be a very different version than you're used to. It's Italian infused with a little bit of Spanish flair. But we hope that you like it, and we hope that you BYON. Because making Sam's chicken cacciatore is as easy as ABC gluten-free. So let's get started. First, I'm getting our regular gluten-free flour that we blended. Oh. You guys like my big purple container? It says allergen-free. And I love this container. So, Sophia, you could get me a measuring cup, and I'm going to just measure out about, I'm going to use my container because I want to weigh it a little bit, but you don't have to. You could do 1.5 cups of flour. I'm going to do about 300 grams, I think, if I can get my unit right. Thank you, Sophia. So when you're measuring out, it's really good if you can weigh everything out. If not, and you don't have a scale, it's okay. Just do your best. Thank you, honey. Just do your best to measure. So I'm going to just put it in here. I'm going to do about 300 grams of flour, and then I'm going to have a little extra for dusting later because I want to be able to roll my pasta out. Okay, so there's 300 there. I'm going to just put that off to the side, and I'm going to put my scale away for now because everything else is kind of like a pinch of this, a pinch of that, so I'm going to just put that away. We like to blend our gluten-free flour because we like to have a very special blend, but you can buy a blend in the store. There's Namaste, there's King Arthur's, there's a lot of good brands out there that you would enjoy. So what we have for our ingredients is our flour, we have 2 eggs, we have water, we have nutritional yeast, we have some olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, we have some salt from Sicily, which is fantastic, we have some fresh parsley, and we have regular pepper. This is really easy to do. You can do it in your food processor or your mixer, but we're going to do it right here on the Silpat for you so that you can see really how it goes. Very simply, very easy. We're going to dump out our flour. We're going to save that for later. We're going to make a well in the middle for our eggs and our liquids. 2 eggs. If you have an egg allergy, we do have a recipe up for egg-free. You're just going to have to use a flax egg or egg replacer, which you can buy in the store now, which is great. We're going to add our salt. I'm not using all of that salt because it's really very potent salt from Sicily, but it's lovely. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of nutritional yeast. And then I've got water on the side, filtered water, just in case I need it because I may not have enough liquids. So I'm just going to break those yolks real quick and kind of like scramble that up right in the middle there. You could use a fork if you want. I've got my dough scraper, but you can just kind of do this. My grandmother used to use her hands, but I don't want to get my hands too dirty just yet. But this is a useful hand process for making pasta. You want to use your hands. To make gnocchi, we have the gnocchi stripper, which is something that you need. This is olive wood from Italy, and it's a very good, useful tool to have when you're making gnocchi. If you don't have one, you could use your fork. It's okay. All right, so we're just going to scramble our eggs up in the middle there, and then gently kind of bring the flour into the center. You want to keep that in the middle there, and just start adding our flour little by little. If you guys have never made pasta before, this is it. This is as easy as ABC gluten-free. It really is. So once I get most of the flour incorporated, Then I'm gonna start to add my water if I need to. Now I'm gonna switch over to my dough scraper just because I want to start incorporating it just like this. I kind of turn and then I blend it together. So you see we've got our egg in there. We just want to keep going until we make a nice dough. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper. I like to season my dough and not just have a plain bland dough. Got some pepper. We're going to do some parsley. I should have had Sophia cut some parsley up for me. But I can just kind of do it rough. You can use scissors, you can chop it up with a knife, it's up to you. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that water in the middle. So for our chicken cacciatore is usually made with tomato sauce, but today we're using Sam's famous salsa because it's going to bring all the flavor, and I don't actually have to do any of the work, I just have to open it, which is fantastic. And it's just a little different version. I think you're going to like it though. This can be also put over chips or rice, or if you wanted to do like a corn tamale type of a thing, you can do it over that. All right, so we've got our dough is getting nicely incorporated. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a well, some more water. Where'd my water go? Did I use all my water? Sophie, could you give me some more water, please? Thank you. Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna start just kind of pressing it together. I don't want the dough to be dry and I don't want to overwork it because then the pasta will be hard. But I do want to make sure in the food processor, this takes about 2 minutes. So if you want to do it in your food processor, thank you. I might need more. Could you get me a little? So we've got about 4 tablespoons of water so far. We might need more. Let's put that there. Thank you, honey. So we're just going to keep going until our dough is incorporated. But you can see how quickly this comes together. See how it's starting to stick together? It's nice. A little bit more water. You always want to make a well when you're going to put some more liquids in so it stays in the middle. And you can kind of bring everything to the center. That's usually how my grandmother used to do it. So she would make the dough. And then you want the dough to rest. So as the dough is resting, we're going to make the chicken. And the chicken is very simple to also do. Sophie, can I have you get started on that for me, please? All right, so here comes, the dough is starting to form together, as you can see. Look at that nice color. Take the chicken out, put it in the sink, take it out. Open up the package for me, please. A little bit more water. And that should be it after that. We should be firm enough that we have our nice dough. You want to make sure you get everything from the outside in. Firming it all together. Once we have our dough shaped, we're going to kind of just let it sit. Here we go. It's coming together nice. We've got some big chunks of parsley in there. That's okay. Because when we make the gnocchi, those big chunks will just kind of get into the sauce, hopefully. Right? All right. Last little bit, I'm going to just combine it all. I kind of roll and press together. That's the easiest way I find to do it if you're not going to use your processor, or you could use the paddle or the dough attachment on your KitchenAid or whatever mixer you have. Whatever one you have at your house. All right, so there we have our dough. That's nice, and we're going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm just going to kind of clean up my mess here. Save that for later. We're going to need a little bit of flour to roll that out, but we'll let that sit for now. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my West Bend out. And I'm going to start with the chicken. First, I have to actually prepare the chicken. So let me just rinse my hands off real quick. So preparing the chicken is just really cutting it into smaller pieces. I'm going to use my red mat, which means that I have something that can be a little dangerous. You want to make sure you keep your chicken to itself. So I'm actually going to just cut the chicken. Sophie, can you put flour in this for me? I have some nice Bell & Evans chicken breasts. I'm just going to kind of get those off to a start. Let me just move this out of the way for now. Sophie can take it from me. I'm going to just cut it into chunks because what I want to do is I almost really want to have a bite-sized piece when I'm going for that chicken, for the chicken cacciatore. I'm going to cut it into little cubes. You can do this ahead of time if you like, or you can buy chicken tenderloin and then just kind of slice those in half. You want to do them about all the same size because you want them to cook at the same rate, right? We don't want raw chicken. All right, so I've got one breast cut, and I'm going to get started on that, and I'll let Sophia do some of the rest so that I can get you guys moving along, because we want you to make sure that you guys get to see everything that we're going to do with the cacciatore. All right, Sophia, if you can maybe start cutting some more of that chicken for me, that would be helpful. All right, so I'm going to put my West Bend on. You can do this on the stove if you like, it's up to you. I'm just going to turn it on medium. And I'm going to just take my flour. I haven't done any seasoning to that because we have Sam's that has so much seasoning in it. I really don't feel like we need to do too much to the chicken. Just a little salt and pepper is going to be it. So we've got our Sicilian salt. We have our regular fresh ground pepper. This is where you may have to get your hands dirty, so be prepared. I'm going to use my fork that I was using before. I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan. Just a little bit to start off. You don't need too much. I'll ask Sophie if I need to get some more, but for now we start off with it just a little bit. And I'm going to just take the chicken and dust it with the flour. I'm going to leave it to the side for now because I'm going to have to roll this, get this nice and hot. I want it to be really hot before I put the chicken in. Once I get the chicken started, then I'm going to show you how we do the sauce. It's going to be the fun part. Sauce and then the pasta, and it's going to be a meal made in heaven, really. It's going to be delicious. If you guys have never made homemade gnocchi before, you're going to see how easy it is to make, and you're going to make it at home. I know you are. Remember, if you have to do egg-free, just replace that egg with some flax or egg replacer that you could buy in the store. But making pasta is really easy, and it's so much healthier for you, and it really is way more delicious than the store-bought. All right, so I've got my chicken done here. My oil's nice and hot. I'm just going to roll it around the pan a little bit. And then I'm going to start to drop my chicken in there. You want to shake your chicken off because you don't want all the flour in there. Just shake it off before you put it in. Sophie, can I have the tongs, or I could use my fork, but can I have the tongs, please? So we've been away for a little bit, but we're back live on our app. We hope you downloaded it. You know it's free to watch and free to tune in. And we give away recipes every month based upon the holidays. Thank you, honey. So we're going to let that chicken cook, and I'm going to come back over to the pasta dough. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it into sections. I'm going to cut this into, I think I'll do 4. Cut it into 4s. And I'm going to take one of those, and I'm going to roll it into a long rope. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make gnocchi. You want to make sure it's sticking together nicely. I could use a little bit of flour. We'll take it from here. So we're just rolling it out into like a nice long snake. And then what we're doing is we're going to cut it into about 1-inch pieces. And then we take that 1-inch piece and we roll it onto the gnocchi stripper like this. And there you have it, a gnocchi. You made it. You did it. Wasn't that easy? And you don't even need the gnocchi stripper. If you don't have a gnocchi stripper, you could use your fork and you just kind of go like this. You can roll them down or up. It's up to you. I roll them down the fork like that. down the fork. You might want to use a big fork. Down the fork just like that. And if you don't have a gnocchi stripper, that's the way to do it. But I like to use my gnocchi stripper. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to just keep going with that. And if I could have Sophia come and help me with this, then we can get this cooking and make you Sam's chicken cacciatore. It's going to be delicious.
She's already cutting the chicken.
She's cutting the chicken? She can stop cutting the chicken. There we go. All right, now we're going to go back to our chicken, and I'm going to show you exactly when we flip this over. We're going to have a nice brown, crispy. We want a nice brown, crispy like that. Let's see who's done the most. There you go. Nice and done. We don't want too much oil in the pan because we're going to be adding the salsa. So we don't want to add too much because we just want the salsa to have all the flavor in there. We're not going to be adding any garlic, no peppers, no onions because everything is right in there. Is our water boiling yet, Sophia? Got my favorite helper with me back on screen today, even though she was unprepared for this adventure. She's here. Thank you, baby girl. And we'll save those two so the girls can help with that, okay? So we'll just do one. We'll just do these two. So when this is done, put those two in, and then we'll just make the quick version of chicken cacciatore. Now we have double this recipe because we want to make sure we had enough food for everybody. So when we're off screen, we'll finish doing the rest of it, but we wanted you to be able to see Sam's famous salsa chicken cacciatore because this is something you really wouldn't see being made with salsa because it's normally with tomato sauce, peppers, onions, and sometimes mushrooms, but we wanted to just give you a little bit of an adventure today. So we hope that you enjoy it.
Oh, it's an adventure today.
It's an adventure for sure.
With the camera guy.
We need to we need to know if we want to use medium or hot. What do you guys? Medium or hot? Salsa. Medium? Yeah. Medium, right? Okay. We don't want to blow anybody out, so we're gonna go with the medium salsa today. Still has all that delicious stuff in it, like peppers and onions, garlic, but it doesn't have all of the heat, and that's okay. So I'm gonna pop this top. You're gonna go cook those gnocchi. Yeah. All right, you got it. I'm gonna turn this down real low. Can I, let me have a knife, excuse me. Thank you. So I'm just gonna take the top off the Sam's. We're gonna be using the whole container of Sam's. We might even need two, depending upon how much chicken that we have. Oh, that smells so good, smell that. Ah, can you smell that, guys? It smells delicious. So this is Sam's mild salsa. It's non-GMO. Warning, it may be addictive. And if you want to look Sam's up online, Sam's famous salsa, you can read all about it. It's Elite Superior Foods. And Sam, the owner, actually created this salsa, and it's very delicious. So we're going to just put that right into the pan. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to put the top on and just let that simmer in there. It's hot enough to let it go for a little bit. This gets very hot, the West Bend, so I don't like to leave it on all the way because I don't want it to burn. So I'm just going to put it on warm. You hear that? It's popping. All right, Sophia's going to go back. I'll finish this. Let me finish this while you get them in. Okay. She's going to get the gnocchi into the water. They take about 3 to 5 minutes while you want to wait for them to boil, and then they come to the top. And then she's going to actually put them in a beautiful bowl, right? And you're going to give them to me. The bowl is right there. The Carmelina bowl. Yeah. And then you're going to take that over.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, look at those gnocchi. Look how beautiful those are. Look at them. Gorgeous. Good job, Sophia. You can take the whole silpat if you want.
No, it's fine.
So you could just dump it into the water.
Come on, my hand.
No, you're not going to do that. Come on.
I can do it.
You know, I know you can, but you don't have to. Put them all in the middle there. Put them in the middle. Come on. It's going to be easier to slide them into the water. She's going to just roll this up and take it with her, and she's going to go slide it right into the water. And we will finish these later because we can let the girls help us with that. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit and get ready to serve you. Because when you're making gnocchi, Always make it a double portion because they're so delicious. You can actually make them and freeze them, just the dough like that. You could freeze them after you shape them. Don't cook them first. Freeze them raw. And they'll be very good. Alright, so I'm going to just give you a little peek. Look at that. All that flavor is just kind of hanging out, waiting for us to eat it. It's going to be yummy. I'm going to just turn over our chicken a little bit. Get it all in the Sam's there. I've got a little bit of fresh parsley. You could do fresh parsley or fresh cilantro. It's up to you. I'm just kind of just put this on the top here. Got my knife. I'll just put it right into it. And I'm going to turn that off and be very patient waiting for Sophia to give me the gnocchi. We have our napkins. We have our plates. Now all we need is some food to eat. So we don't know if you guys have missed us or not. We've been away for a long time. We do stay active on our app, so if you're looking for either help with living a gluten-free lifestyle, download the app, or if you're looking for tips and tricks, we have those. If you're looking for the lives, we have those. And also we have our recipe box, which has over, I'm going to say about 50 recipes there that you guys can, have your heart, just go cooking your heart out on there. We have baked goods and we have dinners and lots of delicious things for you to choose from. What?
They're on YouTube.
Yes, you can check us out on YouTube if you want to follow us on
Subscribe.
YouTube, Instagram, social media, all that kind of stuff. But don't forget that you download the app, you can watch for free, and we've got free recipes on there every month. We also have our 6-week program if you're interested in getting help or personal consultation. We also have that, so don't forget about those things. If you have a friend you want to share it with, you can just send them the link, whether it's iOS or what's the other one? Android. We have our app is on both, so don't forget that. All right, so I'm just waiting for Sophia. Are you almost ready for me? Almost ready. All right, so let's just talk about the dough for a minute. We've got 300 grams of flour. We have 2 eggs. We have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of nutritional yeast. I like to put the nutritional yeast in there because it gives it a little bit of a cheesy flavor. Plus, it gives you your B vitamins because, basically gnocchi is just flour. There's not much health benefits to pasta, so you want to add those things to it. We did a little bit of parsley, and we did apple cider vinegar and olive oil, and that makes a really nice dough. Now, I could have went a little bit longer with this, with a little bit more liquid if I wanted to. I don't want the pasta to be too dry, and I don't want it to crack, so that's why we don't work it as much as normally you see people really working dough. We're not trying to get the gluten going. We don't have any gluten in there, so we don't want to get the gluten started because there's not any to get started. We just want to have a nice soft dough that makes a really nice soft gnocchi. And the funniest thing is we normally make potato gnocchi. Today we just made plain gnocchi, but if you wanted to add 2 cooked potatoes in there, a little bit firmer, and you kind of mash them up and put them right in there, they're delicious. So that would be a potato gnocchi. This is a plain pasta gnocchi. And then there's also a ricotta gnocchi that you can use. Are you ready, Sophia? Yay! All right, guys, the gnocchi's coming out. We're gonna make a nice plate right here. I think, Sophia, you have a spatula for me that I could use? I want to check the chicken. I want to make sure the chicken's cooked. So I'm gonna just kind of tap one open. Oh yeah, that's nice and soft. Nice and soft. Look at that, nice and tender, beautiful. I'm gonna have to try it. I just have to try it. Let me see. Sam's doing the salsa, chicken cacciatore. Let's see, nice and tender. That is yummy. Oh, you girls are gonna like that. All right, here's the gnocchi. Look at this, how beautiful is this? Sophie did a great job. We need a little bit of salt and pepper for this. And I'm gonna actually salt and pepper the gnocchi first because I did not I did not salt and pepper the dough. I mean, I didn't salt the water, which I usually do that. All right, a little bit of our Sicilian salt. There we go. And we're gonna just top that. We're gonna top the gnocchi. Look at that. That's gonna be delicious. Look at that. That looks amazing. All right, guys, there you have it. Sam's famous salsa, chicken cacciatore. We hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Maybe I should take a bite. Maybe I should wait for the girls. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take one. I'll just take one little gnocchi. Just to see. Soft or a little chewy. Yummy. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed the show today. We want you to come taste and see how good it is to be gluten-free. I'm your host, Dana, signing off for today with Sam's famous salsa chicken cacciatore. We'll see you soon, guys. Have a great day. Ciao.